Trooper A1, The Purple Blitzkrieg by Gabrielle Marie Kozak. Book 1 of the Trooper series. Narrated by the author. Chapter 12. No school day had ever passed so slowly for Maura. It seemed that every moment she was waiting for her mother to call her cell phone, even though she knew full well that she would never do such a thing during the school day. All during the long, tiresome classes, she fretted. Someone came in late to school. Maura imagined for a moment that it might be Connor. By the time the day was over, she felt like a nervous wreck. But nothing happened all day, from the moment she woke up to when she hopped on the school bus to go home. She was quiet for the ride in a seat in the back by herself, and no one bothered her. Victoria wasn't home when Maura arrived, and so the girl raced through her homework, finishing it an hour later. It was 4:30 when she pushed her laptop shut and stuffed it into her backpack, along with her math book. She sighed and sat back on the couch. Brushing her hair out of her face, Maura found herself trying to think like a detective. What could have happened to Connor? He could have been kidnapped, of course. That would explain why his message had been cut off. But what would kidnapping have to do with a gun shop and underground? In fact, why had Connor been in a gun shop at all? He was on his way to get groceries, not to buy guns. Another long, drawn-out sigh. Maura drummed her fingers on the couch cushion. Suddenly her phone started ringing. Snatching it up, Maura glanced at the name only half a second before hitting accept call. It was her father. Hello, Dad, she breathed, suddenly aware that her voice was all trembly. Hey, Maura, any news on Connor? How on earth could he sound so calm? Maybe it was an adult thing, Maura decided. No, she told him quickly. Not that I know, at least. There was a short pause. Well then, Adrian said finally. You okay? Yeah, Maura replied softly. Mom's at work? Are you home alone? Yeah, Maura repeated. Well, take care of yourself, okay? Her father's voice was quiet and gentle. Okay, Maura nodded, even though he couldn't see her over the phone. With her free hand, she brushed her long bangs out of her eyes. Okay, see you. Love you, Dad. She said it naturally after long years of her dad working away from home. Love you, Maura. Bye. There was the dial tone, and Maura dropped her phone on the sofa. Would it never be 6 o'clock? Meanwhile, the lecture hall was giant, but was only one of the many at this college. It was after school hours, so the seats were only half filled. Near the front of the room, the professor went through a demonstration of nuclear physics on the board. Most of the students in the room weren't really paying attention, as attendance at this lecture was only for those who wanted to do better in class. Come on, we went over this last week. The teacher tapped the board with her pointer, making a few of the students jump and look up guiltily. You have got to know this, Trinity Ryder? A tall, slim, 18-year-old young woman stood up from her desk. Her shoulder-length hair, a dark brown, was dyed light purple at the tips, including her long bangs that hung over her face. She wore boots and a short skirt. The collar of her purple jacket, which matched her eyes, was enfolded in a revolutionary-style twist. Fission means splitting up. Fusion means combining. Her voice was level, casual, and had a Californian accent. Very good, the teacher approved as Trinity slipped back into her seat. Everyone else, you have simply got to memorize that. Now, Trinity's phone vibrated in her pocket, and she pulled it out, holding it underneath her desk. Everything's ready for you to come home, Vi. When can we expect you? Trinity sighed softly and typed a quick answer. Next weekend. See you soon, Dad. She turned her phone off and looked back up at the teacher and the board, but with new meaning in her unique purple eyes. Idly, she tapped her desk, as if impatient for the lecture to end. Later. It startled Maura the next morning when her morning alarm went off and her phone started ringing at the same time. She hit the alarm off and answered the phone. Maura, it was her mother. Are you awake? Yeah, Maura mumbled, pushing the hair out of her eyes. You're going to have to handle breakfast on your own and take the bus. The police called. They want me at the station. I'm sitting outside there now in the car. I was just waiting for your alarm to go off before I called. Got that? Maura jumped up in bed. The police station? Why, did they find something about Connor? She demanded, throwing off the sleepiness that hung over her. I think they did, but they wouldn't tell me over the phone. Victoria paused. I'll let you know as soon as I find out whether you're in school or not, okay? Now you'd better get ready for school. Maura cringed and shut her eyes. If the police hadn't wanted to communicate the news over the phone, it must be something bad. Okay, I'll see you soon, Mom, she forced herself to say. Goodbye, Maura. Maura dropped her phone on her bed and hopped down to get dressed.